time of demonetization, we all know how important and crucial roles were played by all national and private banks. All those bank staff were working day in and out to streamline the government decision. Nonetheless, to understand their nature of job and work culture, today on this episode of The Ladder, we have Sqn Ldr Sangeeta Rishi, retired, who is working as key relationship head, defense ecosystem in ICICI Bank, New Delhi. I, Shaurya, on behalf of the Ladder podcast channel, welcome you all to this unique episode in series of interviews. Before I begin the interview, let me show you the glimpse of purpose and the motto of our podcast channel.
Confusion is inevitable state of mind in all stages of life, be it the education, selection of life partner, or the job. More the options, more is the confusion. Despite being the exceptional military leaders, when it comes to transitioning from boots to suits, we again encounter the same confusion. Which job profile to select, what certification needs to be done, and where do we start are all questions that haunt the mind. We at The Ladder bridge this gap of unknown queries by interviewing veterans who are already well settled after their transition. We bring you their valuable experience and share guidance so that you all are benefited. Following the motto of once a soldier, always a soldier, we're here to fill that gap of mentoring and guidance so that bonhomie of armed forces fraternity remains intact.
All right, without taking much of our time, let me welcome our guest today. Sqn Ldr Sangeeta is a BCom graduate from Calcutta University and has served Indian Air Force from 1994 to 2005 with a vast experience of 11 years. In 2006, post-retirement, she joined ICICI Bank as key relationship head, defense ecosystem, and till date, she is working in the same organization. Over immense 16 years of rich banking experience, she has tenanted various appointments like head ICMC Jodhpur and Hauskas, head of Central Mailing Room North, zonal audit MIS and compliance manager, regional head currency management NCR, regional head retail Rajouri Garden. Also, during her Air Force experience, she was looking after payroll and budget management, government audit, HR administration, site facility, and infrastructure development management. Now it gives an immense pleasure and honor to welcome the panelists. A very good morning, ma'am, and welcome to this channel.
Good morning, Shaurya. Good morning. And it's my privilege to be here and sharing my experience.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Let's begin with your interview, ma'am. First, I would like to know, being a BCom graduate, was it difficult for you to join the Indian Air Force, ma'am?
No, actually not. In fact, so I was the fourth course of Air Force officers to join. So what happened is I was preparing for my chartered accountancy, and it so happened that, there was a full page advertisement as to first class graduates can now join Indian Air Force. And I saw that. Those times we didn't have any common aptitude test or something which, general test. We were straight away, our applications were taken on whatever basis selected, and we reached SSB. And after that, it was absolutely, smooth sailing, and I cleared everything, and I got a call letter. So it wasn't very difficult. What was it was actually very challenging. It was a new thing. And it was very challenging. We'll be the lady officers, and we will be serving the nation. So that Josh was there, and no, there was no hiccup as far as joining the Air Force was concerned.
Absolutely, ma'am. And why only Air Force, ma'am? Why not any other commerce background related job?
So actually, I was preparing for I've done costing intermediate. I was preparing for my I was doing my articleship for chartered accountancy, and also preparing for CAT for MBA. So it wasn't that I wasn't doing, or I wasn't thinking on doing it, but this seemed challenging. This was a new thing. And honestly, there was never a thought of joining the Air Force or something. But when I saw the advertisement, I felt, oh, why not? And my mother also, supported me. Oh, this will be very nice. And it so happened, since I cleared everything, I left my CAT examination, which was in December. I said no, and I joined the Air Force on 1st of January in 1995. So that way it happened.
Great, ma'am. That means the thing what they generally ask in the SSB, do you have it in you? So I guess it was there in you. That's why you did join the Air Force. Absolutely.
Yes,
Great,
absolutely. I also believe that, and I have full faith in the robust evaluation which all the
Did you work
SSBs do.
anywhere before joining the Air Force, ma'am?
No, I didn't work anywhere. So I was all of 22. So if you see, I didn't join anywhere. I just completed my graduation. I was preparing for everything else. So I didn't work anywhere.
Okay. So Air Force was the first job that you have picked.
Was the first job which I did.
Okay. And I think after the 11 years of service, you decided to leave the Air Force and join the corporate or the civil world.
Yes.
So what was that deciding factor, ma'am, which drive you to switch from the military to the corporate?
So to be very honest, 11 years, and we got, so first we are commissioned for 5 years. Then we got an extension of 6 years. And then we got
Correct.
another extension of 4 years, in which there was no PC, which was mentioned. So since there was no permanent commission, at the age of 32, and then another 4 years, and 36 or 38, I felt to leave then and to find a job would not be easy. So that is why I said the sooner, since PC was not an option then. Later on, my course mates went to the court and everything after 14 years, and they got a PC. But I felt that since PC was not an option, I felt that it was right that, I leave now and find my calling outside, because I have always been a person who always thought herself to be, working somewhere, doing good somewhere. So since it wasn't, forthcoming over here after 11 years, it was only 4 years of extension. So hence I, decided to leave the Air Force.
Great, ma'am. Great. And since you were already working in a government job, ma'am, why did you choose banking sector rather than going for another PSU/government job, ma'am?
So there are two things. I didn't plan to join a banking sector. Let me be very honest. So you do that 6 months pre-release course which comes in. So I was doing it from MDI Gurgaon. Since I was posted in Delhi, it was easier. I was doing my 6 months pre-release course from MDI Gurgaon. And since when we are doing from MDI Gurgaon, everybody, all the professors, all my colleagues who were there in the army or something, everybody decided that, we should try and make it into the corporate world rather than going into the PSUs. There are many reasons, because we just felt, I would say we just felt that it would give us a better exposure. So that is when all the people who were called also for interviews by MDI, and all the, you say corporates who came also. So there weren't any PSUs which had come for the interviews. So for the interviews, ICICI Bank was there. And I would say how ICICI Bank also happened was Captain Raval. There was a person called Captain Raval who was in ICICI Bank, and who was, hiring people. And that is how it happened. So he wanted people for currency chest. He was hiring defense officers only for currency chest, because currency chest was something in the banking which required a lot of discipline, a lot of people, who can handle, because it involved, handling around 1200 crores or something, 700, 800 crores on a daily basis. So it required people with discipline, and that is, and since he was at the helm of affairs in ICICI Bank, who were handling currency chest, a lot of people from MDI, whom he took into ICICI Bank to handle currency chess.
Okay, ma'am. And as you have mentioned, ma'am, apart from doing this resettlement course that in MDI Gurgaon, did you do any other upskilling, ma'am, while shifting?
No, honestly, I didn't. I didn't, and I really believe I should have. Because those days, so as nowadays, there are so many Unacademy and all these courses, Coursera and all courses which are there, which really help, our times, it wasn't so easy. or maybe I was
Yes.
too lazy to find it, maybe. But it was, I mean, I couldn't find anything which was, there. Let me be also telling you that I wasn't so prepared, well prepared to, make the transition. There, in fact,
Okay.
many of us, since we were one of the first, we were the fourth course. So obviously, maybe the fourth course to get out also, as far as lady officers are concerned. So there weren't many peers to, advise us or, to guide us. It wasn't there.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it was, I would say, I would advise all of you is that in case you feel that there is a particular market in which you want to do a particular, field in which you feel you are good, there are many courses on Coursera, there are many courses on, an academy and all, which one should, do and get the hang of things and, brush your skills a bit more.
Correct. And as you mentioned, who was already looking for a retired veteran to look after the suitable role. So apart from this, did you take any additional assistant? I'm sure that time, I don't think so. There were agencies like consultancy or the resume
No, they
making.
were normally Naukri.com and all was there. It wasn't that it wasn't there.
Okay.
And there were some recruitment agencies. But honestly, since, I mean, I got my job within 1 month of, finishing the course. So I mean, did apply through Naukri.com, and I did get a job. There was a very nice job in Anand group of companies, which I got as a, administration. But then banking and being ICICI Bank, being big brand, I joined here. So Naukri did help me. The Naukri.com, I got some 2-3 calls. I went for interviews. I would say I went for Emirates Airlines. I mean, I didn't get that job, but I got an interview in Emirates Airline for, handling their operations in Delhi. I got a call from Anand, the group of companies. They offered me administration again. But then ICICI Bank also came through, and I chose ICICI Bank.
Nice. And how was this interview with the ICICI, ma'am?
So
What
it
was
was
the
nice.
salary
So, so ICICI Bank was nice because Captain Raval was there. He was a Fauji, and there was an HR panelist over there. And it was a physical, because those times everything was physical. There wasn't anything Zoom call or something. So it was a physical meeting. And it went on well. They wanted to know, whether how dedicated I am, whether I'm, if they transfer me somewhere in India, whether I'm, okay with it or not. And they gave me the job profile, which I was okay with. And it just happened, very fast. And within maybe half an hour, it was over.
Okay, great, ma'am. Ma'am, can you just elaborate on various roles that you have been tenanting in the ICICI, ma'am?
Yes. So, and why I'll be also telling you why it is important is because one has to understand, we may think ourselves. So first thing which I would tell everybody is the outside corporate world and the way, the media, the way the movies and all have made, defense forces is, oh, we are stuck up and, we have, tight bottom. Oh, yes, sir. Hi, sir. Something like this is the
Correct, correct.
image which,
Very,
people have
yes, ma'am.
made. Which is
Yes, ma'am.
something which we should break, because see, once you're moving into a corporate world, I reported to somebody who was younger to me, maybe 10 years, but he was more qualified. So it
Yes,
doesn't matter. You do get the respect. The respect is there. Everybody gives you respect, and especially now, that time, Kargil and all these things had not happened. So people were still very, not so. Aware of what the defense services and all do. They were not aware of what defense services is all about and everything. But what happened is, right now, people do have that respect, but then everybody feels, oh, they are strict and they are disciplinarian. One should break that, image which is there. We are as normal, as, articulate, and as easygoing as any other person outside. And this is something which we should remember. And second thing is, we should always see, I joined currency chest, okay, because it was something to do with, discipline is required. There was security of assets, that is cash was there. But then I found that this is not my calling. I found that, I will be very good in retail banking is where I do sales. So, I come across many of my course mates or juniors who sometimes speak to me and they say, oh, we can't do sales. I say, no, please change that, thinking that you can't do sales or something. What are we doing? Whenever we go for an interview, we are selling ourselves. I mean, we are the product and we are giving, selling ourselves. When we come to SSB, we show our skills. We exit for an interview, and what is that? We are showcasing our skills. What showcasing our skills in absolute crude parlance, if I tell, it is selling your skills, right? So we all have that potential. We all are smart enough. We are absolutely good as far as social skills are concerned. My teams have always loved me. My teams have always been appreciative of me. So what I say, tell everybody is, okay, if you join a job, please find out, don't get stuck into it. So what I did was I got currency chest, and I did that for quite a long time, from 2006 to 2010. The first opportunity that I got to, shift my job, I came into vendor management. So that is when you said that, after 4 years of currency management at various levels as, ICMC head and currency chest head in Jodhpur and then in Delhi, I came as central mailing head. So that is taking care of vendors. So that is taking care again of deliverables and taking care of vendors and, how the deliveries are made by the courier agencies. So I diversified myself. Then 1 year I was told that, okay, since you are this, look at the, MISs and everything. Now being, I would say when I got when I was graduating, computers and all were not there, but I learned my skill. On the job, I learned how Excel to a very good extent. We look up to put pivot, do we look up, do, learn formulas and how presentation, to learn graphs. So these are the skills which you have to upskill yourself. So once somebody gets inside an organization, you see what people around you are doing. And you have to understand that, okay, so to have my value, I need to do this. And one should do that. Then after
Correct.
that, I found that, I wanted a break. I mean, I said enough of operations and everything. I wanted to get into core retail banking. And that is when I shifted to branch banking. Now, branch banking is a totally different ball game. You meet customers and you do, you have products and you have targets and everything. But it was very easy for me. Why was it easy for me? It was easy for me because I'm a disciplined person. So if there's a customer query, I knew that I have to go and I have to, get the query addressed. So I would have, I would remember, I would write it down in my diary. Okay, today I have to meet this customer. Tomorrow this query has to be answered. Day after this has to happen. And I knew that, there were products. So I learned what does banking is all about. I learned I totally at the age of 40. After joining, after 6 years or 7 years of joining the bank, I totally changed my profile. Thanks to my bosses who gave me that opportunity also, I totally changed my profile, totally learned everything from scratch, to the point that, I mean, I used to ask foolish questions at a very senior level. I used to ask totally foolish questions, no shame, because I had to learn. I took 3 months, 4 months maybe to learn. I learned everything. So 2-3 things which, if I have to advise you, Shaurya, is absolutely no shame in asking. Raise your hand, ask. Don't think what people will say. Don't think what that your boss or your juniors will say. Oh, isko to ye bhi nahi pata. Doesn't matter. Maybe when you learn it once, the next time you'll do it better than them. So I was, we are talking about demonetization only. So there were queue masters to be put. I had never done that. And, I asked my boss straight away, sir, ye kaise lagta hai? How is it to be done? Will this token system work? And he told me once. And after that, I think my branch was the best handled branch. So these are the things which, how we learn. These are the things, if by, totally exposing ourselves, not having any shame if we don't know anything. But second and the last most important thing is there's no substitute to hard work. We did a hard work there. It was a different type of a hard work maybe. Here, your mental faculties will also be used. Your, your soft skills will also come to use. There's no, substitute to hard work. The more you're ready to learn, the better you'll fare.
True, ma'am. Now, after discussing all that, I would like to take that the lessons what we generally see in the armed forces, that the dedication, commitment, and the discipline, all these values from your Air Force service must have definitely helped you in the bank job, ma'am.
Absolutely, it did.
Now, ma'am, it is very interesting to see that since 16 years you have been working with the ICICI. So, what is that commitment and the bondage that is driving you to work with the
Uh,
same organization?
yes. So, a lot of people see it. I would say if you find a better job where you feel that you can fit in and do better, it is nice. So ICICI Bank was nice for me because my husband was also in the Air Force, and when he got shifted to Jaipur, after 2 years they shifted me to Jaipur. 2 years tenure, Jodhpur, and then from Jodhpur they got me back. So they were ready to accommodate me that way. Second is ICICI Bank is a very nice employee-friendly bank to work in. It doesn't mean that we don't have targets and we don't have, we are not answerable if we don't finish our targets or something. But it is a very nice, the culture is quite nice. People are helpful and everything. And since I was doing decently well, I would say I became lethargic in finding a job. Yes, it is said that after every 4 or 5 years one should look for another job and shift, and you get your pay hikes accordingly or something. But that is an individual call. It is every individual. So I did get a few job offers here or there, but somehow I didn't find those jobs to be fitting with the way I wanted to work. So that is why I didn't change. Otherwise, jobs are there. Once you come into the corporate world, once you have made the first break, it's very easy to get another job. One has to be looking for it. And yes, people who are enterprising and who can find the time and do it, I would say hats off to them, should do it.
Okay, ma'am. So that means if the work culture is okay and you are doing pretty good in that role, what you have been appointed, so it is not mandatory to do the shifting of the company. All
Yeah,
right, ma'am.
absolutely.
Ma'am, can you tell us the important things that you miss from your uniform life in the civil world or your civil job?
So it's been long that I have left the uniform job, but things which I miss is camaraderie is the same both places. What I miss is, see, what happens is in these corporate jobs or civil jobs are you only know the person whom you're dealing with. So what happens is in defense services. We know everything. So if I know you, Shaurya, I would know your wife, I would know your family. We would have some, personal relationship. Okay.
Yes.
In corporate world, the relationships are generally related to just your work. In a sense, I would know Shaurya in my office. I will go out for a drink with him, and we can have corporate events, and we'll enjoy each the things. But very few bonding as far as the family or that bonding comes place. It normally happens that you leave an organization, people say bye bye, and then you move on to new friendships. So those lasting friendships are something which I have not found in my corporate world, but not in my civil world. Civil world, I have really great friends. And I think that's the only thing. Otherwise, quite similar, same bosses. You will have a boss here also as you had a boss there. You have to work, you have to deliver, you have a team. In case you have a team under you, you have to make sure that a team comes and, you are able to take the work out of them. So there's nothing very great except for this, that the family, that bonding is a bit less in the corporate world.
Ma'am, now I would like to know the background of the arms, oblique service, or the technical, non-technical branch, whatever we have working in the armed forces. Does it really matter when we want to select any particular job in corporate world, ma'am?
See, some basic, so if a person is a technical person, suppose he's a signals person, I mean, I don't know, I can talk about as far as, Air Force is concerned. So we have these people who are working in, control centers where they handle 5G, 4G and 5G, and they are AFNet and all, Air Force net and all they are managing. they get very good jobs in Airtel and all, because that is their expertise. I mean, that is what the world is using, and that is the technology which, Air Force is also using. So if I say, then those people get a good job, but actually it doesn't really matter. But something, see, now suppose after 11 years, I'm suppose going to join somewhere. Now, what do I bring on the platter? How is it that I'm able to convince a person in the bank that, I will be doing good? So there has to be some knowledge, some basic knowledge in which, they will, because even if I have to now hire somebody, and I have to hire somebody, I will always ask, what will be that person bring on the table? So right now, it's like I'm a key relationship head. I'm heading Delhi NCRPs for defense ecosystem. I have one Captain Mankotia who has just joined me, but he has, he's also left service around 10 years back or so. And he was working with handling a small setup in individually. So I know that, this person can handle a branch, or he can meet customers and he can understand customers, and, he can do the talking and all. So it does matter to a small extent. But then if your luck is there, you can be picked up just for your smartness or something. I would say something like this.
Okay, ma'am. So even if we don't have any background, we still can pick up the knowledge with various platforms these days available online.
Yes, yes. And please understand, networking does matter. Please don't hesitate to network. Even now, if I have to get a job, being in the corporate world, networking would matter. So if case you know people, you have your peers, you have your seniors who are there, your friends, your civilian friends, networking matters a lot. If people are at the right places, you can really be picked up for a very nice job where you can excel. So it's just that matter of, getting picked up, which I would say. So networking matters. Please don't hesitate to network.
Great. And do you suggest for any MBA, ma'am? These days, people are vouching for doing a distance MBA, wherein they prefer to utilize their time while they are in the service. So, what is your opinion about that, ma'am?
Yes, a nice MBA, and on the topics which are relevant. Please understand, all of us must be following Elon Musk, and Elon Musk made two very big comments, and he said the jobs which are going to be relevant in the future are either analytics, are marketing, is obviously engineers, and two more things which I don't remember. I'm very sorry, but these three I remember. So anything to do with digital marketing. I'm not talking about social media marketing. I'm talking about digital marketing. So there are different digital marketings which are there. So I mean, there is performance digital marketing. It's absolutely the in thing. Any and everybody and every organization is on a digital platform, and it matters. And these jobs, if you see, IIM does it, IIT does it, Coursera, maybe you'll find some jobs, you'll find LSB doing it, because I Google it and I keep getting so many, jobs. Not that I'm doing it, but no, these are the jobs. Please upskill yourself while you are in the service. It will really help you. It will help you understand. Now, a lot of people, especially now I've seen, have started entering into the trade markets. I mean, share markets and, mutual funds and all, and they're doing quite well. And a lot of them are army officers, let me tell you. When I go and meet people and I see their portfolio, and they're doing very well. So, some short courses on that to understand. Now, how will that help you? You can always get into, a portfolio management company, a company where, these things, but then you should have had some background. These courses really are helpful. One should do it. First of all, it adds, but then it should be from a nice institute, and it should be distant learning, provided it also has some, courses. So you have those distant learning classes, and then you have to go and, spend some week over there in the college or something. Those courses are very nice.
Okay,
And if
great.
age permits, and if you have a desire. So along with us in this MDI, there was one Captain Yadav, okay, and he cleared his GMAT, and he did ISB after that. And now he is, I would say he's in, he was last when I heard, he was in China heading a very big company. So,
Okay, great.
it is, yeah. So it is about, how much you're ready to invest in yourself, and it matters.
Okay. So even the distance MBA as well as the regular MBA, both have equal advantage, and one must
Yes,
try to do.
one should do.
Okay, perfect. Now the last question of the interview, ma'am. How difficult it was for you to adjust from the uniform life to the civil life, ma'am? Those initial days. I'm sure now you must have already established.
Honestly, I adjusted quite fine. Though I find well, I would say a lot of my friends who found it a bit difficult, but I'm an extrovert, and I'm a people's person. So it's about nature. Everybody has it. So I found it very easy to adjust. I was lucky enough to have very good people around me in the corporate also, who guided me. Like Captain Raval was there. There was my first person whom I reported to, Arun Bhasin. They were nice people, so I, adjusted well. One thing which I would say is, again, hard work. And please understand, the hours initially would look long, because we are normally not used to, coming to the office at 9 and leaving around 6:30. But unless you are in Bayu Bhavan, air headquarters or army headquarters and all, in the field normally we start our day early, and we end it a bit early also. But then 9 to 6:37, and then you will travel home and you'll reach home by 8:30. That looks a bit long. So your day becomes from 8 to
Okay.
8, because you'll be traveling to your place. I mean, normally 1 ghanta laga lo travel time in Delhi. Anywhere you go, half an hour to 1 hour lag jata hai. And then, you start your work around 9:30. You'll leave around 6:30. Now from 6:30, you'll reach home around 7:30. So that looks long. But, just wait through it and understand, give yourself time, give others time. I had, honestly, no problems in adjusting and understanding. Two things which I will advise people is, when you get your offer letter, please understand what it means. If this, so a lot of times, and nobody explained this to me, so that's why I'm doing this. So there's something called cost to company, and there's something called your fixed pay, and what you will actually get a month, on a daily, on a monthly basis. Please try and understand that. How much is your bonus component? What is the component? How much will you get monthly? So, CTC might look big, but you will get on a monthly basis less, and then it will all be, there as far as your performance is concerned, on the rating basis, whether you'll get that bonus or not. So please try and understand. Don't be in a hurry to sign up anything. Please understand what offer have you got. That's very important. And please, don't think that a higher job will give you more satisfaction. It might not happen initially. You might not get, a 30 or 40% jump, or maybe you get as much as what you are getting, or maybe a slightly better. But that job might teach you better, and in another 4 years you might earn, much more than what your peers are earning. So don't chase just the salary. It is important, I understand, and I know, but don't just chase that. See the job component, whether you will like doing that or not. That is also important, because unless you like the job which you are doing, you are not going to give your 100%, and then your performance will not be there, and then there will be a problem.
Correct. Correct. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable time and the detailed explanation what you have elaborated. I'm sure our viewers will be benefited by your valuable suggestions, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, Shaurya. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and all the best to everyone.
Thank you, ma'am. Good day, ma'am.